what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I'm a full-time used book reseller. I sell books on Amazon and also eBay, but my primary focus is selling books on Amazon through Amazon FBA. So today's video is going to be a long-awaited one. I know I kind of did a half-hearted kind of video on this a while ago, but today I'm going to take you in and show you my exact repricer settings, top to bottom. We'll go in depth, explain everything so you guys can get a repricer and start making more sales. So let's get right on into it. Alright, so right here, we're going to jump right into it. You guys are going to see my screen exactly what plans they have and how much it costs. So I believe, it actually says it right here, you get a free 30-day trial period. So it's not bad at all. It's only $10 starting out your basic 1 to 500 items. So that means it'll price up to 500 items for you according to your schedule for only 10 bucks a month. Now I had that one starting out when I was basically doing it part-time while working. So I had this one for a few months. And now I'm officially at Basic Plus. So I'm in the 501 to 2,000 range. It's only $17 a month, which isn't bad. And honestly, like, I know it sounds stupid, but if you want to grow and keep selling books, you're going to need a repricer. So it's cheap. You get to write this off anyway. Tax time comes. Every month I write off my repricer. So it's like, instead of paying taxes, you just have a repricer. So those are the plans. It's pretty straightforward, just based on your items. So that's the prices. You sign up, free 30-day trial. I'm not affiliated or anything, but I did a little bit of research when I first started, and I found this one to be the easiest to set up. And honestly, like, manually repricing it's just too much, because all the big sellers on Amazon have these kind of repricers. So every time you reprice, they just have these repricers that just undercut you anyway. So that's why I strongly recommend, once you have around, I'd say 200 books, 200 plus books, get a repricer. I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing sales a lot more often. And it's going to definitely be worth your time and investment, and it doesn't take that long to set up. So we got the pricing out of the way. Now we're going to go into the actual account and see what it looks like. So here's your dashboard. It shows you everything you got, your home, reprice it now, all this stuff. So when you sign up, it allows you to reprice 20 times a day. So I'm going to show you my schedule. Here goes my schedule. You can make them any times you want. I would just recommend spacing it out some. So when you go in, you're going to set up your schedule. You're going to have 20 different ones here, and you want to make sure it's active, because if it's not active, then it's not going to reprice at that time. You can use any times you want. These are just random times I felt like doing. So like you'll see, I kind of left a gap between 3 and 6 because ain't nobody really around those times. So if I only got 20 times, I'd rather be during peak hours, but you can do whatever you want. And then you want to make sure you have all your templates as well, so that it's applying to all your templates. So let's go to Dashboard Home. You're going to scroll down. You see your templates. I have a merchant fulfilled. I did a little bit of merchant fulfilled when I first started, like with my bulk book buys, but it's not worth my time. I can either just list it on eBay or trade it in at Second and Charles. And then you have your FBA. So let's go in here. We're going to review and edit our pricing settings. So you see up here, these settings only apply to your repricing template FBA. As you go through, you'll see a little question mark. This explains exactly what each box is. And this is one of the main reasons I went with this one, is because it's so self-explanatory. Like, if you have a question about it, it basically answers it right there for you. But I'm going to go through, we'll explain each line and explain why I chose it, I guess. So you only want your new items against other new items. That's only common sense. We're not pricing new against used. And then the next one, used against used. Exclude acceptable competing offers. I always list 99% of my books in good condition. So I have this checked off, because if it's acceptable, maybe somebody's more like, meh, that's the lowest condition there is on Amazon, so I'll pass on that and get a good one. So I exclude acceptable offers. You can if you want. You don't have to. It's just personal preference for me. And also, I exclude just launched offers. So what's just launched? That's somebody that hasn't had a single feedback on Amazon yet. So first off, they're most likely not to get the buy box because they don't have any reviews. And second off, if they are eligible and there's no feedback, people are like, you know, like, who is this person? Have they been selling? Do they know what they're doing? Do I know what I'm getting? So I exclude those as well. And then it even lets you choose like your seller rating. I know you all have a seller rating unless you just launched, like your feedback percentage. So mine's 100. All yours is 100 too, because I know you're good book sellers and you keep track of that. And if you ever get a -1, you can have it removed. So you can set this to anything you want. I have mine set to 70. So anything 70% or below, it won't take that into, like, it won't include that when I'm repricing. So if somebody's got a $10 book and I'm priced at $12, but their rating's below 70%, mine won't reprice to undercut them. It'll just let their 70% feedback account exist. So that's when I would recommend you can put it up to 80. I wouldn't go above 80. It just doesn't make sense. So, and like I said, it always got that little box here. It shows you everything you need to show everything you need to know about each one of these boxes. It's going to explain right here, right through the desktop app. That's why I love Repricing. Minimum allowable price. So this is the floor for all your books. So what does the floor mean? That means it's the lowest this thing will reprice your book. So if the listing tanks below 1098, which is, I kind of factored in, like if I at least get 1098 for a book, I'll get my money back. So you can set this to whatever you want. I could see somebody having it at $14. I mean, I wouldn't go below $10 because 85% of books you're going to lose money on if you sell for $10. So I feel like 1098, between like 1050 and like 13 is a good spot to be. It's just, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to wait a little longer, set it up a little bit. Maximum allowable price, I just set this to $299.99. Now, if you have something that's super expensive, I'll show you later on, you can exclude that SKU so it doesn't reprice it. It won't touch that specific SKU. So default to minimum allowable price when price is below the minimum. So say if you don't have this right away and then you come in down the road, like a lot of you don't have repricers, and you sign up and then you put, you know, 1098, and all your books under 1098, when you reprice, it's going to bump them all up to 1098, so you don't have to worry about doing it manually. All right, here comes the kind of like more important parts. So maximum numbers of competing offers to compare against. I have 1. You can have 2. It's just going to average the 2 and just decide what your price is going to be. But you guys know I scan for the lowest. So when I'm scanning on Scout IQ, it's showing me the profit at the lowest possible FBA price. So when I'm pricing and repricing, I want to be the lowest. So that's just my personal preference. Sure, you can have it higher and, you know, be willing to hold out, but at the end of the day, we want to sell books. We want to keep the money flowing. All you out there selling books know that, you know, it can be cash intensive starting out because it takes time to get your money back. So that's why I always say, price at the lowest, scan for the lowest. You're going to get the sale. You're going to keep your inventory moving. Your inventory score is going to stay good. Your cash flow is going to stay good. That's why I have 1. And as always, it's got a little box for you. Reprice new items when there are at least this many new competing offers. 1. If somebody hops on the listing, you want it to be at least 1, so it reprices. Default price when there are 0 or too few competing offers for a given item. I leave this blank because you don't want a default price. Because if there's no offers and say, you know, there's no other FBA offers and I send mine in, well, I'm going to price it accordingly when I list it. So I'm not worried about this box, and you shouldn't be either. If the price on an item goes down more than this %, do not reprice. This is good. So you're worried about your prices tanking. Well, if somebody comes on the listing and undercuts it by 20%, it recognizes that and it won't reprice underneath that for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Me personally, I'm not worried about that. We have the minimum price set. That's all that matters at the end of the day, is what our bottom's going to be. That's Zazu in the back running around like a crazy cat, meowing at the ceiling. So, same thing. If a price goes up more, don't reprice. I leave them blank. It makes sense for me the way we do it. All right, here comes where all the Amazon billionaires, millionaires, book selling gurus are going to be like, this guy don't know what he's doing. So, repricing modes. This is probably the most important area of the whole thing. Reprice at the lowest possible competing price. Reprice at the lowest price by same condition or better. Reprice items against the buy box. Reprice items using intelligent repricing. So, intelligent repricing, don't use that one. I'm not even going to let you guys use it. So that's just like some algorithm they have. And it just doesn't make sense. So the only two you're going to choose from, the only two I'm going to allow you to choose from is the lowest or the buy box. You know me, I'm at the lowest. I'm all for selling books. Amazon, they're in the business of selling things, not storing your old crusty books in the warehouse for a year and then having them sent back to you. So my recommendation is lowest price, because we're scanning for the lowest. We're pricing at the lowest. Let's just roll with the lowest. I mean, it makes sense. You're still going to make money. I've made plenty of money doing this. The gurus will say, well, if I just wait, you know, an extra 5 sales, I'm going to make an extra $1.50. Well, that might be the case, it might not. So say if you're waiting for a sale and someone keeps coming on the list and an undercut, you're never going to get the sale. So if you go against the buy box, at least you're within the range where the buy box is going to rotate and there is a chance of you getting it. But if you're always priced the lowest, there's a much higher chance of you being the buy box. So forget competing against the buy box. Let's just be the buy box. So first one is the one I recommend. You'll sell more. You have the bottom set, so you know you're not going to be losing money. It just makes sense to me. I don't want to hear nothing else about, well, you're tanking the book prices. No, I'm not. I have a floor. I'm not pricing my books under $10.98. So anything under that, then you're tanking the prices. So that's the important one. Choose between the buy box or lowest price. I recommend lowest price. Buy box, it's not a big deal either way. Do not reprice items with a sales rank above. You're not worried about that. Only reprice an item when the price goes up. You're not worried about that. That doesn't even make any sense. All right. Pricing against Amazon. I've seen this in comments. Do you buy books? Amazon's selling them. Of course I do. Listen, some people prefer just to buy used books. They don't like buying new books, especially from Amazon. So I have it set to 5%. Goes right in hand with my Scout IQ. So you have your Scout IQ settings that shows percent off Amazon, 5%. So that makes it coincide with everything. So you know, hey, if Amazon's on the listing for 20 bucks and you send a book in, Repricer is automatically going to reprice 5% under that. So that would be what? 5% of $1 is a nickel. Nickel times 10 is 50 cents. They would price $1 under that $20. So you would be at $19. And honestly, that's all you need to get the sale. A buck off, a buck and a quarter off, even 75 cents off on some of these lower books. People just prefer to buy used books. That's just the way it is. So I highly recommend having this. Don't be scared to get on the listing just because Amazon's on the listing. All right. Next up. How much do you want to price below or above the offer you are competing against? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are undercutting by 1 penny. We're being that rotten undercutter by 1 penny. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of the buy box stuff goes into the lowest price. Now, there's no definitive way to tell who has the buy box or how you can get it. But I promise you, being the lowest priced, even if it's by a penny, is going to highly increase your chances of having the buy box. So, why undercut more than a penny? Just do a penny. You're the lowest, boom, you're good to go. You'll most likely get the sale when the time comes. Make sure you have this plugged in right though. 0.01. You don't want to put 1. That'll be a dollar or $1 million. And these are very important. So make sure if you're setting this up, you take your time and you double and triple check, because once these settings are in, it's going to reprice your stuff. And I've known people, friends of mine in real life, that have messed with some of their settings and it just screwed everything up. So make sure you take your time, go over this line by line, and make sure you have everything right. All right, and then you could do a percentage either. Just roll with a penny. I'm telling you, it's the best way to go. Following settings only apply to FBA items. You want to compare your FBA against only other FBA. You don't want to be comparing against merchant fulfilled. So make sure you have that second one checked off. Merchant fulfilled items. This one, deduct my shipping amount when competing against Amazon and FBA offers. So if you're doing merchant fulfilled, you could check that off. And then you go down, upload my price changes to Amazon.com after repricing. That's what you want. It's automatically going to upload all your settings. It's going to reprice everything. So once you have this all done, you're going to hit save settings. I'm sure it'll say, like, it'll give you a little warning. Oh, you know, it's going to reprice everything right now. So we have our settings, our template's good to go. You guys already have your 20 times set for your rescheduling. So let's see, like, you want to see what happens when this thing reprices. And this is a way to tell to make sure everything's working the way it should. So let's go into repricing reports. So you're going to get 3 reports every time it reprices. Uploaded, repriced, not processed. Every time this thing reprices, you'll get these 3 reports. So let's go into items repriced. And it'll show you right here. So what you're looking for to make sure things aren't too out of whack is that everything is either going up or down, not by a lot. So you'll see, like, minus a nickel, minus a penny, minus a penny. That means you're on the right track. You know, this is making sense. This is working for you. So now you see here, oh, look, we got a huge jump here. It went up $18.24. So the repricer doesn't only lower your prices, it increases your prices. So, for example, someone probably I was competing with down at around, what, 23 bucks. They probably got the buy box and got the sale. So since there was only 2 of us competing down that low, it jumped me up to the next person up, which was probably at $41.97. So now I'm at $41.96, and I'm the lowest FBA used offer. So hopefully when the time comes, we'll get the sale. So it works in your favor too. You're not only just losing money on this. That's what I want to get into your head. So everything, as long as you see small amounts, you know it's set right. And like here you see another $2.10. So sure, it's doing it 20 times a day. So what's the most you're going to lose on a listing in a day? 20 cents? It's worth getting the sale for that. And if you don't get it and someone else does, it'll just bump you right back up to the next offer. So I mean, it's kind of foolproof. And it's much better than manually repricing your books. I promise you, once you have a repricer, everything's going to work easier. It's just going to make more sense. You're going to get more sales, and you'll feel better because you get more sales and you're getting cash pumped back into your business. So this is going to show you every single item that's repriced. So you can just go down, scroll, you just see the normal stuff here. 2 cents, 2 cents, up 99 cents. I mean, it's for the most part, it's a penny game. I mean, you're basically just playing the penny game. Every once in a while, somebody will undercut heavy, but you still have that bottom set, so it's not going to reprice anything that's under your target, or if there's offers that, you know, don't make sense. So we keep going, and it's just going to show you everything. It shows you how many items were repriced during that hour. So you're not always, it's not going to be every single piece of your inventory. If you're already the lowest priced, or there's, you know, an offer came on that doesn't match your settings, it's not going to reprice your items. So we got 55 items displayed that it repriced. So now we can go back and see how many it did not reprice. So go back to the dashboard, repricing reports, items not processed. Going to be a lot. 514 items not processed. So you'll see here, it tells you why it wasn't repriced. Too few competing offers, too few competing offers, no qualifying competing offers. So it gives you a little bit of explanation. And for the most part, it's just going to be because you're already the lowest price, just because you're constantly repricing throughout the day. So that's a good thing. You always want to have more than are processed besides when you first start, because it's going to process everything. So it gives you a breakdown of everything, and it's pretty straightforward. All right, let's see what else. It has a tutorial how to link it to your Amazon account. It's just like Scout IQ. You go in on the back end, allow approve access so they can reprice all your items. It's that easy. Then you can also go in and do a merchant fulfilled one if you're doing merchant fulfilled. Same kind of thing you do with FBA. It's that easy. So You did it all, and now you want to reprice it. You can just hit reprice it now. Repricing request submitted, and then it'll pop up in your reports. Probably, it usually takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can go in and see exactly what is going on. So for all you out there, 200 plus books, you need a repricer. Reprice It's the best one. I just showed you why. It's simple, it's easy to set up. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me. If you have ever any account issues, you can reach out to them. When I wanted to upgrade, for some reason it wasn't letting my account upgrade. I shot the customer service an email. They got back to me the same day. My account was upgraded. So great customer service from them. Hopefully this video encourages one of you to sign up for a repricer, and if you do, make sure you let me know, and I'll be curious to see what your sales start doing, because I promise you, your sales are going to start getting crazy. I mean, that's just the way it works. When you're repricing your books, you're going to get that buy box, you're going to start getting more sales. So I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Make sure you undercut everybody by a penny, so you make all the Amazon gurus angry because it's just a penny and meh, and you're tanking the prices. No, you're not. Don't listen to none of that nonsense. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book thrifting videos. Bye-bye.